guys, it's me, Julia, back again with another weekly wrap-up. Wow, these things are really piling up. And it's really funny because I thought I'd have nothing to talk about today because I was like, oh, what am I going to talk about? Oh, I guess I could talk about this. And before you know it, I've got like 2 sides of a piece of paper worth of notes to talk about. So this might be a little bit long because I've got quite a bit to talk about, but I'll just jump right in and try to keep it as, to the point as possible. Okay, so I've got a couple of different, I'm going to go over what I bought first, and then I got a couple of new things I want to talk about. So I just bought a couple of things this week. Starting off with, I finally found a cute little pair of turquoise earrings. I've been looking for something with turquoise that just has like a little dangly bit, and all the ones that I find are like big, chunky ones. I couldn't find just a cute little one. I was looking for something that had like a square shape, like for the drop to be square, but this is close enough. And I got these at Walmart for $5. So they're just these little kind of, like they look like hoops. And then they've got the turquoise, and I was really excited to find those, and the price point was amazing. I'm continuing on my like cheek thing right now. I keep buying blushes and bronzers. And I've heard lots of people mention these, and I've never owned one. And then I walked into the drugstore, and NYC products were on sale. So I picked up a couple of their color wheels, their Mosaic color wheels. And that's what the packaging looks like. And it's basically just a blush or a bronzer. I think this is supposed to be like a blush, but I'm using it as a bronzer. It's the Rose Glow. And it's just kind of a rosy, I find it bronzy. It's like a rosy bronzy shade, so I've been wearing that as a bronzer. And, oh, I dinged it a little bit. I really like these because they're not too soft. Sometimes drugstore blushes can be like really soft and they turn to a powder when you touch them. So this does not do that. And it's got really nice colors in here. And actually what I like to do is, because the mosaics are big enough, I can even like go in with an eyeshadow brush and use them just to do some shading if I just want to have like a natural looking eye. And then I also got Pink Glow. And they were 20% off, and they were only like $5 to begin with. So they were like, I don't know, really cheap. You can tell I did not do very well at math. What else did I get? And then I got some more nail polishes. So last week was St. Patrick's Day. And so, of course, I had to go out and get a green nail polish. This is Highline Green from NYC, and I've talked about these polishes before. They're the In a Minute polishes, and they are very quick drying. They last, really well, and they're super duper cheap. For 9.7 mils or 0.33 fluid ounces, you pay less than $2. And this was a nice kind of bright green, and it was a nice cream shade, nice and opaque in 2 coats. And I really love these. I find these are probably like the best, cheapest nail polishes in the drugstore. Of course, drugstore nail polishes, there's ones that are much better, but for like really, really cheap, these are really, really good. And I prefer them a lot to brands like the Hard Candy and the Wet n Wild ones. Although I have to say the new Wet n Wild Mega Last ones are pretty good. And of course, I keep trying to find another blue shade, like my favorite No Room for the Blues from OPI, so I'm just going crazy buying blue nail polishes lately. And I picked up this one from Sally Hansen, Hard as Nails Extreme Wear Nail Color. And again, I love these nail polishes. They're really cheap. They're like $3 to $4. This one's in Blew Me Away. Just a nice bright blue, but it's not the same as the No Room for the Blues. But so my quest continues. And then this one was a lot of fun. This is Coral Reef. And this is, I think, part of a new collection. And it's like a neon coral. I was wearing it the other day. Very, very bright, but very fun. I think it's not quite, like my skin's still a little pasty, so it doesn't look very good against my skin right now. But once the summer hits and the tans hit and everything. And the lighting seems very weird today, and I think like the camera's trying to focus on my red lips, and I don't know. All of a sudden I'm obsessed with my Mossimo Long and Lean tank tops that you buy at Target. And why I love them is they're that kind of, not waffle weave, what do you call this? It's like all kind of springy and I don't know. It's what they make undershirts out of anyway. So it's not like, like a cotton jersey. It's like this kind of stretchy rib knit. Thank you. Rib knit cotton. So usually when I buy these rib knit cotton tanks from like Old Navy. They bag out, like even like Hanes and all that. And Fruit of the Loom, like if you just go buy like the men's undershirts in a package of like 3, I find that they stretch out and they go like they lose their shape. These ones start out a little bit leaner, so they're long and lean. They live up to their name. And they're really nice and long, so that they're very good for layering, and they keep their shape, which I love. And I have them in like 4 different colors. The only problem I have with them is I find them a little pricey. They're $10 each, which I know is a good deal, but once you, like, I like to have multiples, so it can add up, but they're really, really good. I think they're really worth it. So unfortunately, you can only get those at Target in the States, but I know that H&M also does the same style, and they're good as well. They're just not quite as long as these ones are. But the good thing about this is if you hit Target, they're often on sale, so that's good. Like you can get an odd color or something that's on sale. And the other thing I'm obsessed with this week is my vitamin C serum. I've talked about it in many videos before, and it's been a favorite for a while, but just all of a sudden this week I'm like, oh, gotta have more, lather it on. I just really like what it's doing for my skin, and I think it's because I'm almost out, so it's like all of a sudden I'm like coveting it. Keep it, must keep it. And the last thing I'm obsessed with is all of a sudden, I don't have anything, but I'm obsessed with grapefruit. It's like, I like to eat it. I want to wear it. I bathe in it. Not actual grapefruit, but grapefruit scented stuff. And I think it's just because it's springtime, and I'm kind of going away from. For the last few months, it's been all about vanilla and brown sugar and just being like really warm and smelling like a cookie. Now I want to be fresh. It's springtime. So there's a couple of other things that I wanted to kind of feature in this week's video. And that's, I thought maybe if there's something in specific that I learned this week, I would talk about it on my weekly wrap up, or new YouTube channels that I found that I like. If there's, something that week that I find, I'm going to talk about that too. So this week, things I learned from YouTube are, I was watching a video from Joan, JudeBug1029, and now this is something that I didn't necessarily learn it this week. I've known it for a while. It's a technique that I used when I first started putting makeup on, and that is the notion of putting your concealer on before your foundation. And it's one of those things that I used to do it. There's 2 schools of thoughts. Do you put your concealer on first? Do you put your foundation on first? And I was kind of like, going back and forth. Then I watched Joan's video, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to try that again. And it really does work. The biggest problem that I always have with concealer is you put your foundation on, and your foundation looks great, and then you put your concealer on, and it's like a different make and a different formula, and it just, you end up, like, sometimes I feel like you can see your concealer, and maybe it doesn't sit as well it doesn't blend into your skin as well as the foundation does. So just going back to putting on the concealer first, hiding those areas, and then covering the whole thing with foundation, it's the foundation that you see. It's the foundation that, it covers. And if there's like a color difference or whatever, you're covering the whole thing with foundation. And it really, really works. So that's one thing that I relearned this week. And the other thing that I learned was how to make your own clipless curling iron, and I watched Candy Johnson's video. I think her video was up a while ago, but for some reason it just popped up this week in my recommended videos thing. And, okay, so get it out of your system. I know what you're thinking when you look at this, because it's exactly what I was thinking when I looked at it. It's the biggest curling iron I've ever seen, but it has like a really short, not a really short clip, but it has, like a short clip on it. And it's a really big barrel one for doing loose waves. And all you have to do is, I'll put a link to the video below, but you just take out, there's little screws. Oh, where'd my little screw go? Just tiny little Phillips screws holding the plate in place. You just unscrew those, and voila, you have a clipless curling iron, and you don't have to like spend a fortune on one of those clipless curling irons. And I don't know, there's just something about not having the clip that, you don't get that dent in your hair, and it's really good for just kind of like rolling your hair around. It's, fun. I like that. So that saved me a bunch of money. What else? Okay, and then I subscribed to 2 new YouTubers. I subscribed to 2 new YouTubers this week, and I love them both. And the first one is bluefly.com's YouTube channel called Stuck on Style. And why I became obsessed with them this week is they have all these little videos of celebrity closet confessions. So they go into like different, they don't have a ton of them, but I think they kind of add them periodically, and they had like 6 or 8, I can't remember how many, and I just kind of watched them all the other day. And it's just fun. So they're like really quick little, 2 to 3 minute videos clipped together really nicely inside celebrities' closets, seeing what they're wearing, seeing what they got in their closets. It was really fun. So if you like fashion and like to see kind of like what celebrities are wearing, go check that out. I'll just put a link here to the actual channel. And through that, I found another YouTuber, and she's a blogger. I think she started off as a blogger, and her name's Erica Domasek, and she founded the blog P.S. I Made This, and it's like totally exploded, and she's got like a book, and she's like has all these, like big time collaborations, and I just like found her through the Celebrity Closet Confessions, and then went to her thing, and it's like, oh, she's doing what I want to do, and it's just amazing to me to see somebody like that. She just does everything creative. If you see something that you want, instead of going out and spending a fortune buying it, like make it yourself, and she's managed to like make a career out of it. And I was like, oh, I really admire people that can do that, like take an idea that you have in your head and actually make it work. Whereas I always get bogged down in like, how am I going to do that? And where do I start? And, like, oh, I got to make sure that I'm making money for my family. And so I just never get out of the gate. And so she's great. She's got all kinds of really cool little crafty things on her blog. And she's got videos on YouTube. So you can check her out as well if you're interested in that kind of stuff. And that's it. So I managed to make it not too long. My best friend is coming, and I'm going to force her to do the best friend tag. So you'll get to see a little, different side of me goofing around with my best friend, and I'm smiling already thinking about it. I'll show you how beautiful it is outside. Oh, look at how beautiful it is. All you can see is my roof. Look, not a cloud in the sky. The birds are chirping. The windows are open. And it's just making me realize how dirty the windows are, and we've really got to get them cleaned. Anyway, so look. It's March and the grass is green. This is crazy. So have a great weekend, guys. Bye.